Coach, what challenges are associated with this upcoming road trip for you guys?
Well, I think it's just maintaining what we've done here the last couple of games, and our last road trip was a very good one, so we certainly have to make sure we get a better one out of this one. And when you look at the teams that you're playing there right now, probably to me the team that's the best one right now is Anaheim, who's out of playoffs, and the other two are right there knocking on the door. So I think we're going into a territory where there's a lot of desperation, and so we're going to have certainly some good challenges. But to me, if we play the way we have the last couple of games, it's a good challenge for us.
Johnny Boychuk was the Masterton nominee for his determination to get to the NHL. As a guy who also went through the minor leagues for a while, did you have a special affinity for a guy like Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely. Because at one point it looked like he was going to be that minor leaguer that was going to be an all-star there, and then spend most of his career in that league. And he got an opportunity with us, and he took full advantage of it. And people that remember, he was a healthy scratch for a long time before he even got a chance to become a regular on our hockey club. But when he did, because he had worked so hard as an extra, he kept himself in real good shape and kept himself as sharp as he could. When that opportunity came, he took advantage of it. In his first playoffs with us, he showed a side of him that really, I guess, caught our eye and made us like him even more. And it was a competitive side of him. And we all knew he had the big shot in the American Hockey League, and that he was a big body. But his competitive side, and the fact that he was capable of playing against top lines as he progressed with us is something that we really like. So he's a guy that's come a long ways, and I think if you ask anybody in our dressing room, they couldn't be happier for this guy who's always been a great team player, has a real funny side to him, keeps everybody laughing, and has never taken the game too seriously to the point where he's let it affect him.
Coach, I was just wondering, the Wilmington High School hockey team you guys share the rink with here won the state championship the other day. Just wondering if you could reflect a little bit on the relationship between the Bruins and the Wilmington community.
Well, it was nice to see, and we have a little connection, and RJ, who works their bench for him during the game, has come in here and helped our trainers on certain days. So I think everybody was cheering for him, probably except for Doug Huda, whose son played for the Linfield team and got beat by RJ, so he had to serve him a Gatorade when he came in, so that was the deal. But there was a nice little friendly wager going on in there, and now RJ can come in there and gloat that he's worked for a team that's won a Stanley Cup, and also worked the bench for a team that's won a championship, his high school.
Claude, a couple games now with Zanin back in the lineup and paired up with Adam, how that's worked out so far?
Well, it's worked out well. I think you've seen Seidenberg back with Shera, and sides can play the right side, but also Zanin's a guy who loves to block shots. He did it again last night. Some big shots, and he's not afraid to put his body in front of him. But he's also not necessarily the tallest defenseman, but he's I'd say well grounded as far as when it comes time to battle in the corners. He's a pretty sturdy individual, and his battle level is good, his awareness on the ice is good, and he's keeping his game a simple game. So with Adam, I think they've made a pretty good pair, and the other four are guys that were paired off last year in the playoffs. So right now, that's certainly an option that we have.
Coach, how important was it to get a decisive victory like you did last night before heading to California?
Well, I don't know if decisive was that important, more score-wise than our team effort and the way we played. I think that was important, how we came out there and competed. And for me, the toughest thing for teams sometimes when you have a lead like you do going into the third period, have a tendency to just kind of go out there and go through the motions. But our guys did a great job at sticking to the game plan and really minimizing the mistakes and making the smart plays for having that type of a lead. I think it was pretty impressive that our guys were focused enough to do that. So that's the encouraging signs of what I've seen as a coach and heading on to the West Coast.
Coach, with San Jose and Los Angeles battling for playoff position, are you expecting those games to be more playoff intensity?
That's what I just said a while ago. There's two teams battling for a playoff spot, and probably the hottest team right now of the three is the one that's not in a playoff spot in Anaheim. So there won't be any easy games there, but I'm looking forward to it because it's more encouraging the way our team has played lately.
It seemed like there was a stretch where you guys were changing the lines up every week. Would it be nice to kind of stabilize that situation going into the playoffs now?
Well, it would be, but at the same time, you got some injuries. You've got some guys that are in different situations that you have to move around. So it's not a bad thing either because when you get into the playoffs, anything can happen. You saw it last year when Hortz was injured. We had to move Beverly up, and he fit in just well. So players playing with other players never a bad thing. And stability is good, but the other way around too is just gives players other opportunities to play with different players, to bring something different when they're called upon. And to me, it's just part of growing as a team and being able to have a little bit more versatility in your lineup.
So would you say you guys you're a bit more cautiously optimistic that you've kind of found a formula to play some more consistent hockey these last couple of games?
Well, I don't know if it's cautiously. I just don't like getting ahead of myself, and it's not about being cautious. It's about bringing it every night, and every night should be the same challenge moving forward here. We've got 10 games left, 9 games left, and basically what you got to do is keep playing the way you have and continue to try and improve, because we all know once that puck drops in the playoffs, you want to be in the best position possible in the standings, but you also want to be playing some of your best hockey, and we can't just expect to have kind of struggle for 2 months and then 2 games later you think everything's okay.